It is a cold, wet, miserable day outside, and I have been going on a deep dive onto what is time and what is immortality, and I really wasn't ready for this, so I'm going to share it with all of you. Are you ready? I don't think we grasp what being immortal is. If we had a wish granted to us, say from a genie or a god, and the wish was that you could be immortal, and maybe it would set you back 100,000 years, a million years. Let's say it takes you back to the time of the dinosaurs. Let's say it puts you 100 million years in the past, but you're immortal. Nothing can happen to you. Well, being immortal, the first second of your immortality is going to feel exactly the same as what the first trillion years of your immortality are going to be like. If you get sent back 100 million years with the dinosaurs, that's fine. You're immortal. There is nothing that can happen to you. No asteroid impact that took them out is going to take you out. No T-Rex is going to eat you. You are not going to come to any harm at all. In fact, you might as well learn how to farm those creatures. You could learn how to be friends with a velociraptor because you are immortal and you have all the time. You have 100 million years to sort that out. In theory, as time progresses and you see these world events, you would hold the key to becoming a god king. You're immortal. You could prove your immortality to any species of human or animal that comes along. And with your foreknowledge of knowing what is going to happen in the future, given any time paradoxes that would come into play, because obviously if you start messing around with world events, things are going to change. But we digress. Let's say the timeline continues as is. You know what's going to happen. You could become a god king within any state or all the states that you choose, influencing the outcome of battles and politics and world health because you're forewarned, you know. And in that time, because you have ultimate time, you would learn how to become rich, become wealthy, become influential, become whoever and whatever you needed to be to have the life you wanted. And you would probably get bored. After a time, though, you would probably, hopefully, have a good grasp on that boredom, and you're going to need it. Because over the 100 million years that have taken you to what would be modern civilization, it would feel like the first second of your immortality, or as important as your first second. After all, you have unlimited time. You are immortal. After influencing states and people and experiencing tens of thousands of relationships, possibly even having tens of thousands of children, wives, partners, husbands, you're going to understand human nature to its finest. And you're going to see the human body and animals of this planet evolve into whatever they're going to evolve into. At some point, you're going to think to yourself that you should probably think about getting off this planet because the universe, in a few billion years, not just the universe, the solar system, our sun in particular, is going to expand. It's going to get bigger. It's going to swallow up the inner planets of our solar system. So before the planets become swallowed by a red giant, you would be wise to invest in some sort of ability to travel about our vast and empty space. That travel, though, ultimately is not going to make any difference because when the Earth is eventually swallowed up by our sun and then eventually collapse back in on itself as a white dwarf, you won't have anything left on this planet to even show that you or your empires or your prowess, wherever, even on the face of the planet, not even bacteria will be keeping you company. And so it will continue. You'll be on your spaceship or whatever transport method you've devised, and you'll be traveling about the universe doing what you want. And it doesn't matter how distant you travel because you are immortal. You don't have to worry about food. You don't have to worry about water. You can go for as long as you need to go. Eventually, however, in a few billion years of floating through space and exploring various solar systems and various, possibly even galaxies, you will see those stars eventually twinkle out. You'll see the death of entire galaxies. Eventually those deaths leading to multiple black holes that will merge together. And after a few trillion years, it is likely that you will come to the end of the universe as we know it. something called the black hole period. Maybe you'll even enter a black hole, being the first consciousness to ever cross the event horizon and see what lays beyond the other side. And it can't kill you. You will experience it in its entirety for as long as it decides to keep you. Will you lose your mind? Maybe. Maybe you will. But eventually, I would imagine you would get a handle on it. It is what it is. You will have no choice but to get a handle on it because you are immortal. At the end of the black hole period, when everything has finally been sucked back down to a single point, you will have an opportunity to see the entire universe born again. Because on an infinite timescale, you have the possibility of every single thing ever happening. It doesn't matter what your imagination can come up with. On an infinite timescale, it's going to happen. There is a good chance that after trillions of years, you may come back full circle to meet the family you're sitting with today once again. But on a timeline like that, it won't even feel like you have blinked because you're going to do it all again because you're immortal. I don't think we have a true grasp of what immortality is, yet alone what it could possibly mean to have infinite time.